forward button, and then we're gonna get started standing. And I put something soft down because I don't have a carpet. And sometimes it feels nice to have a little softness under the bottoms of the feet. I know a couple of you have carpets. But if you don't, it might feel nice to have a blanket or something down to just kind of move around on. And we're gonna just begin by kind of shaking and releasing and bopping around a little bit, like the Charlie Brown Christmas special. You just kind of dancing around. It allows you to smile. It encourages you to kind of come into the bottoms of your feet, into the present moment, just letting yourself be here and smile. One of the greatest things uh, is to do this in front of little kids. Because when they see a grown up smiling and bopping around, it gives them hope for their own future. Like, I don't have to become stiff and rigid in my ways. I can be like this person, this unusual adult, whatever role you play in their lives. It doesn't even have to be a big role. When you show them that you can release tension, when you show them that you can smile and laugh, it stays with them. It really moves into their being because we're all connected. Go ahead and pause and just stand in a Qigong stance. This is horse stance. You're letting your feet sink into the earth as the crown of your head extends towards the heavens, and you let your arms kind of relax at your sides, and you just breathe and notice. Notice how you feel. And there is a space on the body, a place on the body called the celestial pivot. And it's your belly button, your navel. Go ahead and just place your hands kind of on your navel. So it's higher than the dantian. The dantian is our center of gravity. The celestial pivot is our kind of balance point between earth energies and heavenly energies. It's our balance between our kind of moving around in the world and being inspired in that movement. And just gently rubbing the area of your navel and kind of around your navel. And this is sort of our plug into Mother Earth. Breathing into that space and feeling a sense of being supported, feeling a sense of compassion toward our humanness, and knowing that we are here doing very important work, even as you've set time aside for yourself on a Wednesday morning or whatever time you utilize this recording. You set time aside for yourself to balance the yin, the more receptive, the earthly, that nurturing and nourishing connection with the yang, the kind of upward and outward, the energized, the places you might travel in your mind space, all of the thoughts. We need to bring them down. We need to be a conduit that brings those energies down so we can digest them, so we can utilize the information, so that we can move on the earth in a purposeful way. Very important work you're doing by rubbing your belly, by smiling, by moving. So breathing, smiling into the space underneath of your hands, smiling into the bottoms of your feet. We're gonna find some gentle stretching to start today. And so we're gonna move the wrists and the hands, and you can kind of shift your weight from side to side. You can extend your fingers, extend your thumbs. Rub the hands together, getting them nice and warm. We'll give ourselves some patting, some chapotments, patting kind of up and down an arm, wherever your hands land. You can do that again. It might feel really good. You can kind of move your elbow upwards and pat from your armpit down to your hip and back up. And you give yourself a stretch as you do that. And bring that arm down and go to the other side, patting up and down your arm once or twice, your shoulder. Lift your elbow and pat from your armpit down to your hip flexor and back up. Give yourself a stretch maybe on that side. Let your arm come down. We'll make some big circles with our arms. You can bend your elbows. You can do whatever feels good here. Maybe you kind of round forward and then you open up and you breathe. Now we're gonna pat the kind of the under the collarbones, tap a little or pat. I'm patting. Patting just feels good to me right now. You can pat down, drumming on your body, patting down past the solar plexus and then the celestial pivot, your plug down into your low abdomen, your hip flexors, and let's pat down and up the legs. So maybe you're patting down one side and up the other. Breathing. Do it again. You can tap on your tops of your feet. You can pat in and inside, outside. You can come to your hips. You can pat your sacrum, sacred bone. Give yourself all those nice pats. Now your hands are supercharged. And then you tap the top of your head. You can give your head a tap. That's the place that I always feel like, even when we're doing my Qigong practice, I feel like I always need to kind of come and give my head a little attention, because I think a lot. We all think a lot. It's just what we do. Giving your head a little attention, kind of releasing a stagnation in your ability to make decisions, tapping the crown of your head. Let's tap the outside edge of the eye, so the temple. And if you have glasses, you could remove them or just work around them. I'll work around mine. This is a stomach acupressure point, as is under the eyes, like under the cheekbones there, kind of tapping your cheekbones, the stomach, and the spleen are earth element organs associated with overthinking and worry. We want to let the worry go so we can digest better. And then go ahead and let that go. Shake out your hands, shake out your feet. Let's swing the arms from side to side like an elephant's trunk. You might lean forward a little. You might pick up a heel and pick up the other heel if that feels good. You might just let your hands and wrists be kind of floppy. And you're breathing. come to center, and you're gonna let the arms swing forward and back, forward and back. Finding softness. As you inhale, press into the earth, and as you exhale, you release a little and release tension and just let it go. And let the arms go. Shake them out a little. And we're going to find some twists, but before we do, bring your hands to your dantian. And your feet are rooted about shoulder width distance, and you're going to turn from one direction to the other at the dantian. So our spine, our lumbar spine is not a twisty part of the spine. So you're really turning the dantian, you're turning your hip flexors from side to side. And then bring your hands up to that celestial pivot, your navel, and you become a little bit more twisty. And then bring your hands up to your solar plexus area, and you become a little more twisty. And bring your hands up to your heart, and you become even more twisty. So you can see how your spine becomes a little more twisty the higher up we go. And then bring your arms down, and we'll start to twist with the arms down at the dantian, and then make your way slowly up the spine, letting your twisting become a little more twisty. If it feels good, you can let your arms sort of swing out to the sides like a carnival ride. And you're breathing all the while. And then coming back to center, shake out your arms, shake out your legs, reestablish your stance, this horse stance, where you have maybe a soft bend in the knees, relaxing your shoulders, pressing into the earth, and now just notice how you feel. So every time we move, as we practice our Qigong, we can connect with the earth. We can set kind of an intention of balancing the yin and yang energies within ourselves. We can be more present with our movements and pat and tap and stretch the body, swing the arms, kind of getting things flowing. And from here, we're going to move in different directions. Today, we're going to talk about the different directions of a Qigong practice. So we've got all this nice energy moving around. Now bring your hands to your dantian and just breathe naturally, noticing your breath. And then if it feels good, see if your belly wants to expand like a balloon when you inhale. And it relaxes towards your spine as you exhale. We're finding this diaphragmatic breath or deep breathing, inhaling through the nose and out of the nose. And as you inhale, your belly expands. And as you exhale, it draws towards your spine very gently. So we're encouraging all of that chi, all of that movement to make its way towards the dantian, where it can be better processed. It's kind of this nice consolidation of energy. And then from there, we're going to be able to move the energy in different directions to help to clear the channels of the body, if you will. Relaxing your jaw, breathing into the space underneath your hands, and then just let your breath become natural. And relax. We're going to begin with upward. Let your palms face out. And we're lifting the chi, bending your elbows, lifting, and then turning your palms down and lowering. And as you move, moving nice and slowly, and it's though you're moving against a gentle resistance. Bending your elbows, lifting the chi, and then pressing down. But let's envision visualization being a big part of our practice, that there's a little bit more resistance as you lift. We're lifting, and then lowering is a little easier. Visualizing that resistance, this gentle resistance. When we work with our own energy, cultivate our energy through our practice of Qigong, that's what it means. We're also encouraging our experience and our relationship to the world around us, because there's Qi everywhere. Everything is energy, and science is able to say it's true. Everything is energy. We don't need to hold on to too much dogma, but we can understand that we have an inner wisdom, and we can say, okay, things are energy. Different things are connected. There's not this definite separateness. There's definitely a connectedness. You feel that. So as you cultivate your chi, you start to learn how to interact with the chi around you as well. Start to relax a little more, become a little more present maybe with whatever's going on around you. And then the answers kind of come as, how should I interact with the world around me? And we feel kind of a sense of joy and a sense of purpose. We interact on whatever level. It doesn't have to be big, giant interactions, little things, little interactions. Hello, say to someone as you pass by, or you make eye contact, and you can send them love and kindness. You don't even have to say anything. You don't even have to make eye contact. Just the way we interact with the world around us, what we're extending from ourselves. So we're lifting. And then release your hands down. Next, we're going to part the clouds. Let your palms face up at the dantian, coming up, and it's like you're a geyser. You can feel rooted through the bottoms of your feet. And it's as though fresh, cool, clear water is drawing up from the bottoms of your feet, kind of helping you to rinse away any residual particulates from your inner alchemy process. And you're rinsing, you're lifting, you're kind of energizing yourself. These are great movements for finding that little bit of extra energy, that is a balance, quiet awareness, upward, moving upward from the bottoms of your feet to the crown of your head. And as we find these different directions, we're trusting our chi to know what to do. We have to kind of also trust our body's innate intelligence. Nothing that we do is right or wrong. It's just cultivation and listening, and breathing and stretching and feeling good from the movement itself, the mechanics of it. Great. I'm gonna do one more, parting the cloud. And then shake out your arms, shake out your legs, move your wrists and ankles. Bring your hands back to Dantian. Let your shoulders relax. Sink into the bottoms of your feet. And if it feels good to you, you can return to that deeper breathing. There's nothing to force. If it feels forced, do less. Doing less is always the answer. If anything feels forced, it feels uncomfortable, do less. But if it feels good to let your belly expand as you inhale and draw in towards your spine as you exhale, nice and slowly, then allow that to happen. And again, we're consolidating chi, even if you're not breathing down into your belly. Just placing your hands and having the intention to consolidate the energy, to consolidate chi, to allow it to process, to kind of encourage that inner alchemy that occurs within us. Releasing tension, let your breath relax, find a smile. When we smile, we release a little more, we become less serious, and things flow a little easier. Take a deep breath in and let it go. And let's come inward. We're going to clear the chi, which is sort of like bringing down the heavens as a smaller variation. Clearing the chi, and so pressing down, envisioning kind of a little bit of resistance. Up is a little easier, and down there's a little resistance, pressing down. So now we found our upward movement, which is energizing in a way, and now we're relaxing and releasing, pressing down, finding a little more grounding. You're breathing all the while, and our breath is really a bridge to how we feel. You can listen to the sound of your breath and bringing your attention, your awareness to it. Maybe it comes along with your movements. If that feels good, that's fine. Next, we're going to wash the barrels. Let your palms face your body. It's like you're holding a tree. And we're lifting and then lowering slower. So there's a lift and then a lowering. Washing the barrels. It's like you are this big pickle barrel and you're sort of power washing the outside of your barrel and the inside of your barrel with cool, clear water. And water is so important. We are primarily composed of water. Water touches everything. Water can be in different phases. When I think of water in the sense of washing the barrels, I'm thinking of it kind of cleansing and clearing. And again, the movement, the focus is down, slow. No. Relax your jaw. Relax your hands, your wrists. You're washing the barrel. And any residue is kind of going along with gravity, sinking down into the earth. And just like our navel is our connection to earth, that connection to that nourishing, nurturing, always there for us. And then let your hands come down. We're going to cloud walk, lifting one heel and your hands, maybe your whole foot. Just a great way to move the ankles around a little bit in a standing practice. Breathing, reconnecting with the earth. Coming back to center, bring your hands to your dantian. And allow your shoulders to soften. Let your feet sink into the earth and just let your breath move freely. Maybe it feels good to find a few deeper breaths. Maybe as you inhale, your feet sink into the earth, and as you exhale, the crown of your head extends a little more towards the heavens, and you're bringing energy, you're reconsolidating. You've done these movements, this upward movement and reconsolidated, the downward movement and reconsolidated. It's a constant shifting, a constant moving. Again, inner alchemy. Our body's innate healing ability, we can see it, it happens. You cut a finger, have some type of an injury, our body wants to find equilibrium, and we're stimulating that. We're even encouraging more of a balance between the yang, what we're Western culture-y all about, and the yin, which is that quiet receptivity. We're balancing, finding equilibrium. And so let's draw inward. Here's an inward movement. We're going to bring the arms out, palms come together, and then maybe we sink a little bit down. Arms come up, pressing palms, this is called. You could have your feet a little further. Maybe it feels good to kind of sink a little into your hip flexors, your knees, and if not, that's totally fine also. And we're growing inward. We're drawing energy from the extremities in towards the center of the body, into our center line of our bodies, and down into the dantian. We had upward, we had outward, and now we're having inward. And I love this movement also because it's sort of like becoming this channel for the freer flow of energy. We live on this material plane, and we have material things to think about. We have life and our experiences as humans, and when we can embody our experience, when we can come into our bodies, we can root into the earth, we can feel connected, and then we become a better channel for the energy to flow so that we can just do our best. Doing my best is Laura Buddy. Doing my best is the human, having my human experience, being kind and compassionate to myself, towards others. And then bringing your hands down, let the thumb knuckles pause for a moment, sort of at the heart space. Just noticing the space between the palms of your hands. The prayer posture, Gasho. It's called many different things, and it's very namaste. very connected to our spirit. And when we draw inward, we can connect sometimes a little easier with that spirit within ourselves. It's present in all other life, all other beings. That is the intelligence. We're connected to it. We're part of it. Isn't that great? We're always supported by the earth. You're connected to spirit. You are a whole being. Take a deep breath in and let it go. We're going to gather chi. Bring each hand in towards the dantian, and you're even getting a little turn, maybe a little turn in the body as you gather, fortify. I think when we're in difficult situations or difficult interactions, even ones that are really pleasant, it's nice to feel present. It's nice to feel grounded. Like it makes a difference. You know the difference between talking to someone who's listening to you and talking to someone whose mind is in a million other places. And so we can cultivate that ability to be present, listen, and we have even a greater effect on that interaction inward. Let your hands rest on your dantian. You can just breathe naturally, or you can sink into a deeper breath, whatever feels right to you. But bring your awareness to the palms of your hands, pressing against your body. Bring awareness to the bottoms of your feet, sinking into the earth. And as you inhale, you press into the earth, and as you exhale, the crown of your head lifts a little more, because as we push down, we're pushed up. And you smile. Well, let's find an outward movement. Bring your hands to your sides. Let your thumbs come up your sides of your body, and then pushing out. Lower your hands, tying up the sides of your body and pushing out. Now you might bend into your knees, you might sink into your hips, and then straighten your legs, or you can just do what you need to do. But we're responding now. Found that kind of drawing in, and now we have a thoughtful response. Letting the energy flow out to the extremities and out into our kind of field around us, our Wei Qi. We'll talk about that more in another practice, but it's our interface with the world around us. We can think of it as our electromagnetic field. I like to think of it as a little bubble that surrounds you, and it can expand and expand. Encourages you to just put out into the world what will be helpful, and to draw in just what's helpful, and that doesn't mean it's not painful. You have to process. You have to practice that, being present with the suffering that is the human experience. Then we can put out what is helpful, what is useful. So one more time, pressing out to the sides, lower your hands down. Let's cloud walk, just to wring out the ankles, to wring out the feet, fingers. We'll find another outward movement. Bringing one hand to face up at your dantian. You're going to come from the dantian, that energy center, up to your heart, and you're going to express outward from your heart. And you're going to do that again and express from your heart. And then lower that hand. We're going to do the other hand, and then we're going to get both hands going. So now this hand comes up from the dantian to the heart, pushing out. Again, we feel nice and balanced so we can put out into the world the stuff that's helpful, the stuff that encourages, the love, the kindness, compassion. And now let's see if you can do both arms, coming up and pressing out, and coming up and pressing out, just kind of playing around with that, maybe even turning a little as you do. Breathing, moving, sensing the air around you. Being light of heart. Outward. And then let your hands come to rest on your dantian, returning to the center point. And envisioning kind of the energy coming from the bottoms of your feet, up the legs to the dantian, from your hands, up the arms to the dantian, down through the heart to the dantian, from the crown of your head down. And it's like all this beautiful light just coming back to consolidate, to refine itself some more. Let your shoulders soften. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Found upward, we found downward, we found inward, we found outward. Let's turn. Bring your hands in front of your chest, and we're going to turn to look at the moon. Letting your fingers extend, coming back to center, and then turn to look at the moon. Allowing our energy to have that capacity to turn. And this is really turning and getting this massage in your abdomen, getting a little more release around your spine. Turning to look at the bright moon in the sky. Hey, this feels like it also incorporates that celestial pivot, which is an earth element acupressure kind of point as well on either side of the navel. The earth element, our ability to connect with the present moment, to feel safe and nourished, nurtured. Turning to look at the moon. We're going to come back to center. And we're going to move right from turning to circular. Let your palms face down. And we're going to circle both hands. You're kind of making like you're drawing a circle with your fingertips. And you can step your feet a little further away from each other and kind of sink into one knee and down and over to the other side. I encourage you to just play around with this movement, sort of taste test. Feet closer together, feet further apart, sinking and not sinking. Circular movement. Let's go the other side with our big circles. It's like we're drawing a big circle with both hands. And maybe you're thinking a little, coming up into the sky. Maybe your circles want to get big. That's fine. Maybe they want to be small. Let's back to center and let's cloud walk. That'll feel good. Just you might even move your wrist around. You can make fists with your wrists a little and squeeze your toes together and put them back down. Come back to center. Let your hands rest on your dantian. Again, idea is that you're sinking your feet into the earth. As you sink, you're kind of pushed upwards, allowing yourself to be supported so that you can find more space between each vertebrae. You're encouraging the flow of energy to come back towards the dantian, relaxing your shoulders and your jaw. And we're going to find a movement that brings together circles and turns. Let one hand be in front of your heart, the other in front of your dantian. It's a cloud hand. Relax your shoulders. Let your arms soften. We're going to turn in the direction of your upper hand. That's your yang hand. Exchange hands. And then turn in the direction of the upper hands. And finding sort of this circular motion and this turning motion. Cloud hands. And you might even turn your fingertips up a little on the upper hand so that you can gaze at the space between your hands. And so moving in these different directions, one of the benefits is freeing up stagnant chi, releasing areas of tension in the body wherever they may be. Bringing scattered chi, which is chi that's kind of all over the place, to that center point, to the dantian, to sort of be reconsolidated, a little more refined, and then redistributed where it needs to go so that we can have more of a balance, more equilibrium. And coming back to center, bring your hands to your dantian. And just breathe here for a moment. Let your eyes soften as your feet sink into the earth. The crown of your head extends towards the heavens. And you breathe, maybe you sigh on an exhale. We're going to find next a spiral movement. And spirals are the most effective movement for moving chi. To start, step one foot forward, and this is something that we've done, I think we did it last time, lifting and lowering the hands. So don't whack a wall or a desk or anything. You just kind of lifting and lowering. You can have one foot slightly in front, the other hand behind. It's like you're tossing a ball and catching it. So you can feel the spiraling of your joint and your shoulder joint, but then even envision this sort of spiral of energy making its way from your back leg all the way up to your fingers, hips. Spirals, very effective spiral force, very effective at kind of clearing stagnant areas. We're gonna bring that arm down, shake it out, and we'll switch sides. Let the other foot step forward, and it's like you're tossing a ball and catching it. It can be slow, it can be fast. Either way, visualize sort of this spiral occurring, even just in the arm, because you can see it happen in the arm. There's that spiral, a rotation. And maybe it makes its way from the bottom of your foot all the way up your fingers. Love it. And let that arm go. Shake it out. Shake out both hands. Shake out your feet. So what we're going to do is scoop the stars. There's a spiral movement. Sink your feet into the earth. And you're going to take one hand and you're going to scoop it out in front of you. And it's like you have a bunch of stars up above you, and you're just kind of moving the arm around to gather them. And then you're going to come back to above your head and draw the stars down into your dantian. Then you do the other arm. You scoop up and you're sort of turning, maybe your arm bends and your palm faces up. You're scooping stars from all around you. And there's no perfect way to do it. Just have fun. Visualize these stars up in the sky. You swoop, and this is a spiral movement coming back from the crown of your head down to the dantian. Excuse me, I got a tickle in my throat. Continue scooping the stars as I get a drink of water. Trust yourself. Still scooping. Scooping the stars. And coming down. Oh, and it's so then it has this multi-movement experience, which many of our movements do. We have a lifting, we have a lowering, kind of have an outward and an inward. We have a turning. We have the circle and a spiral. It's very whole, it's very complete sort of movement. And maybe it feels good. And finishing out each side, kind of balancing out your scoops, and then bring your hands back to your dantian. And take a deep breath there. This really wonderful place of processing. Done such a great job moving the energy and reconsolidating it, letting it extend, reconsolidating it, letting it expand. And now you're all balanced. Bring your hands up to your navel, to that, so it's just a little bit above the dantian, that celestial pivot, just giving yourself a little rub there, feeling balanced between the earth and the heavens. So now bring your hands out to your sides. We're going to bring down the heavens, because I think that just is a good way to conclude our movements. Sort of a way to to wash away, a way to rinse, a way to ground, a way to. It's a nice conclusion, I think. One more time, reaching up, drawing down. And then let one hand come to your belly, one hand come to your heart. Feel the warmth and gentle pressure of your hand. Smile into them, and your smile radiates into your being. And then it becomes part of that whole experience. And the chi is more refined and it's able to absorb because you've released some gunk that you don't need, this constant process of inner alchemy, constant process of refinement. You've released the stuff you don't need. There's nothing inherently wrong with it. You just are processing, you're changing, you're transforming as you should. And you're making more room for this kind of beautiful, wonderful light of kindness, compassion, peace, and love smiling into your being, allowing it to permeate so that it can be part of each experience and extend into the world all around you. Bringing your hands to heart center. Thank you so much for your practice today, friends. Namaste. And all the spirit in me just honors that spirit in you. We're all connected. And it's just so great to practice with you. I hope you have a really, really nice day. I'm going to hit my stop record button.